Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, I'm here with Dave Myers. This is episode, I think, 11 of Around Town. Never knew we'd make it this long, but you said, what's the title of the job you have? I always called you the parking ticket guy. No, that's not the right title.
My actual title is Public Service Technician.
All right.
Because I do more than just meter attendant. I do a lot of repairs, placements, installations of meter posts and meter heads. So collect the money.
But people know you as the parking ticket guy.
I'm sure they know me as a lot of things.
And I call you a parking ticket guy, but you told me before taping, you've been called a lot worse. And,
I have.
We won't say it on camera. That's kind of why I wanted to talk to you. I mean, I'm an injury lawyer, and out of all the jobs in society, I think people kind of tend to put us on the bottom of people we don't have a lot of love out there in society. And I'm figuring writing parking tickets, I don't know if you're above or below me, but you're down there with me, I think.
I think we're about the same level, I'd say.
But someone's got to do these jobs. People need sued sometimes, and I'm the guy that has to do it. People need parking tickets sometimes, and you're the guy that has to do that. Give us some of the reasons why we need to write parking tickets.
Well, some of the immediate reasons with downtown Hamilton is create turnover for businesses that are located within downtown Hamilton. We would want customers to be able to have a place to park instead of people squatting all day and sitting there and taking up places, because then that makes them leave and go somewhere else instead of visiting and spending money in downtown Hamilton.
All right, yeah, so, and it used to be a bigger problem. You were telling me people would just stay in one spot all day.
Yeah, about 4 years ago, that used to be the main issue when I was hired and brought on. Just about every spot downtown would be filled up with county employees, city employees, owners of businesses, and since then, we've been able to turn it over to where you can find a spot to park in downtown Hamilton now.
And I can attest to the change. So you got me, I'd hang out in court a little too long. Sometimes I'd have a quarter I'd toss it in there, but it'd overrun, and I never was too worried about it. I did my best, but sometimes it would go too long. I never got a ticket before, and then one day I got 2 tickets in one day, and I was like asking around there, there's a new guy in town, there's a new sheriff in town in the park, and I was like, okay, he's taking his job seriously, which I respect, so I've been a little more careful ever since then. But there's ways, a lot of times I don't have change, it's just hard. There's a way that we can pay without that. Can you kind of go into the options people have?
We have a couple different options for people who are planning on staying in downtown Hamilton for any significant period of time. We've got the Passport Parking app, which you can download from the Play Store. And it's easy to follow instructions on how to activate it and pay for your parking. On all the meters that use the Passport Parking app, there are zones and spaces that you'll have to include when you go to pay for your parking. We've also got the downtown McDoulan garage. It's a parking garage. 2 hours, first 2 hours are free. You don't have to pay for the first 2 hours, and then it's 75 cents an hour after. So you've got that option also. And then on High Street between 2nd and 3rd, we have what they call multi-space meters. Where you can actually go to the meter, you put in your license plate number, you pay with a credit card or cash and change, and you can sit there anywhere hour to 2 hours depending on what zone you're in. So several options along change, credit card, and parking app.
I've tried to lobby some of the higher ups in the city for a lifetime. I just want to buy a lifetime pass, but they said it's not available yet.
That would be nice.
How many tickets do you write in a day on average?
Usually on average, it depends on the day. Our high traffic day is obviously Wednesday because of court. So on those days, you'll usually see around 40 to 45 tickets written. Any of the other days, anywhere between 25 to 30, I'd say.
Do you have a record, like the most you've ever done?
73.
73, that's the record?
73 in
you
one day.
You own that?
I do.
All right.
I do.
You don't try to break, it just happens.
It happened that day. It was a busy day downtown, and
stars aligned.
A lot of people forgot to do what they were supposed to do.
Are you less active when it's like, today's a beautiful day to probably be walking around checking on what everybody's doing? If it's crappier weather, are you more likely not to go out as much?
Heavy rains and stuff, we usually don't get out that much. We look for breaks, we'll go out, try to find the heavy infraction and people who are heavily violating laws. Other than that, it's really light on bad weather days.
And when you write a ticket, I think it was $5. So it's not a giant tax, but it's more kind of like a slap on the wrist to do better, I think.
The fines have raised to $10 for meters.
I ain't had one in a while. Been doing good.
Been doing good. But still, if you look around, we're still one of the the city of Hamilton charges less for parking violations than anybody else around.
Okay.
You go down to Cincinnati and you could be paying $40 to $60 for a parking infraction when it's just $10 here.
Okay. Are there any cars you just nose out, like multiple offenders just by the card you've memorized, you've gotten a bunch of times?
I have a lot of vehicles that I know the license plate just walking up to it without having to look at it.
So the lawyers probably some of the worst.
Yeah, they are. They are.
It doesn't surprise me. We get stuck in there sometimes, and we can't leave. You don't know when your case is going to get called. So we need to use if I get the app, which I haven't done, I can add money even when I'm not here. I don't have to come out and put more money
with
in.
The app,
at the location.
City ordinance, if you're in a spot, say it's a 2-hour parking meter, after 2 hours, you're supposed to move your vehicle. You can actually get a ticket for parking in one spot longer than the ordinance says.
Even if you paid the meter.
Even if you,
I didn't even know that.
even if you pay the meter,
Okay.
it could be a fine. With the parking app, it's synced in with the city ordinance, where after 2 hours you could not re-up on the app. You would have to wait a half hour if you wanted to use the same spot. So they want you to physically move the vehicle.
Okay.
So
I learned something new. I didn't even know that. Yeah, because parking tickets really don't go to court. I've never been hired on a parking ticket. It doesn't really make sense to hire an attorney for one, but I'm sure someone has.
I've been to court many times over parking tickets.
People doing it on their own. What are they typically complaining about? I'm sure sometimes maybe there is a malfunction, but what are they? I'd say most time probably not.
Sometimes a malfunctioning meter, which there's a phone number on the ticket itself. If you have a defective meter, you can call the meter. We'll go out and check the meter, and if it is faulty, we'll void the ticket.
Okay.
So we're real
fair.
We're real fair about that. I mean, this isn't a money grab or anything else like that. If it's something outside of something you did, if it's a defective meter or anything like that, then we'll eat it. We'll take it back. We'll own it. But then I had a guy who sat in one spot for 37 hours and took me to court over it. We had video and everything else like that. So he didn't win. But the other thing they don't realize when they do that, if they lose, they have to pay court costs. And court costs is like $200, $250.
Made it a lot worse.
Made it a heck of a lot worse for him. And so had he just called and talked to us, because he ended up with 3 tickets over 37 hours. Where he was sitting, he could have got a ticket every 2 hours. They was sitting there. But we just wrote him 3.
How do you time, let the truck go by, how do you time someone?
We time them electronically.
Okay.
We have an app on our phones. It has all of our spaces, street spaces, and we electronically mark the tire. And when we come back in 2 hours, if they're still in the same spot and the tire's in the same orientation, then we know they've been there longer than they should.
All right. You seem like you like your job, especially today is a pretty nice day to go walk around, look at cars. Why do you like it? I mean, you probably have to have some thick skin because people are going to get mad at you. I've had a few jobs like that in the past, but why do you like it?
For the most part, I do get angry customers.
You call them customers?
Where they will call me names, yell at me, holler, but in the end of the day, they know I'm out here doing my job. But the great part about it is I get to meet people. I get to talk to people every single day. I am out in nice weather. I'm not cooped up in a factory or a warehouse. And and honestly, it's a really fun job. To be able to just get out here and just walk around, talk to people, see new people. You make a lot of friends, even though I am doing something people despise.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good thing.
I'd have to assume, when you got me, I was like, that sucks, but I wasn't mad at anyone. I'd say there's probably have to be a lot of people who just know you got me, and I was wrong. I'd say most people probably take it that way.
Yeah, most people do. Most people realize that, they didn't pay the meter, forgot to pay the meter, they were in there longer than they should have been. A lot of the times, you get people who are taking up 2 spaces and they'll come out, they'll see the ticket and be like, I did that.
Pretty objective.
So, most of the people are accepting of what they did. So, I've never felt threatened, I guess, even though I've had a lot of upset people.
Well, that's good.
Coming at me.
So. And you got a partner now. There's 2 of you I've seen.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name's Connor.
All right.
We hired Connor September of last year. So yeah, now there's 2 of us, but we've also expanded our enforcement area to include High Street from the bridge, or I'm sorry, Main Street from the bridge to Millville Eaton intersection. So,
and you said you brought him on because you're expanding, but also because of Spooky Nook, there's going to be more traffic, more parking violations.
There's going to be more
need
traffic.
Help.
Yeah, and there's going to be times where one of us are going to have to take evening shifts, depending on whether there's big events going on at Spooky Nook, events going on in and around downtown Hamilton, because we do have areas that are enforced on the weekends also that normally we wouldn't, but we are now going to be enforcing.
All right. I mean, anything else you'd like to add? I mean, I think it went pretty well. I mean, just wanted to get, have someone who maybe has a job you said is despised to an extent. Hear your side of the story makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's something in society we need.
I think one of the biggest things when you visit anywhere, not just downtown Hamilton, first thing you really should do when you're coming someplace new or unfamiliar with, look for signs, read signs, make sure you're doing the right thing. Check the meters, because there's a lot of information on the meter itself as to whether you should back in, pull head in, times for enforcement and parking. So just read the signs, look around, be vigilant, you're doing the right thing, and hopefully you don't see me next to your car giving you a ticket.
All right. If you see a black Honda CRV with it's got a dent in the hood, take it easy on me.
I know your vehicle.
You don't have to take it easy on me. Write me up if you catch me.
There you go.
I'll pay it.
There you go.
All right, Dave, I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Don't set the record today. Maybe
I'm doing other things today.
All right. Last, outside of just writing the tickets, you said you do something over at the garage too. Not everything you do is despised, so we can end on that. What else do you do that everyone can kind of get behind the graffiti stuff?
Yeah, part of my job is to cover up any graffiti that's basically manage the Big Dillon parking garage, cover up graffiti, doing repairs. I also set meter posts, meter heads, and just general, and basically anything they need me to do outside my scope, because that's kind of how all city workers are. Even though we might have a singular job, we're all able to help each other out and make sure we get the best results for the city of Hamilton.
All right, I think that redeems you in everybody's eyes. So he might write you a ticket, but he'll go clean up some graffiti, make the city look better.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it, Dave.
So
keep up the good work. Have a good one, man.
You too.
That was great. That was fun, man.
Perfect.
That was perfect. So smooth, man. I told you, I'm glad you got back to me so quick today.